The dawn of a hero. Zamana's arrival at Sunset Bay Resort. The sun rose over Sunset Bay Resort. It was a new day. A tall, muscular figure stood on the beach. This was Zamana. He was the new lifeguard. His eyes scanned the horizon. He was ready for anything. Zamana had come from a small coastal town. He'd been saving lives since he was a teen. Now he was at one of the busiest resorts in the world. The challenges would be greater, but so would the rewards. The resort manager greeted Zamana. He showed him the equipment, the rescue boards, the jet skis, the first aid station. Zamana nodded. He knew these tools well, but he knew his greatest tool was his own body and mind. Zamana took his place in the lifeguard tower. He felt the weight of responsibility. Hundreds of lives were in his hands, but he was ready. He'd trained for this. He'd lived for this. The legend of Zamana was about to begin. A day in the life, challenges and responsibilities. The sun beat down on Zamana's back. His eyes never stopped moving, left to right, near to far. He watched for signs of trouble, a raised hand, a splash where there shouldn't be one. He was always ready. Every day brought new challenges, ripped currents, jellyfish stings, sunburns and heat stroke. Zamana handled them all. He was more than a lifeguard. He was a protector, a teacher, a friend to those in need. The physical demands were intense. Zamana had to be in top shape. He swam miles each day. He lifted weights. He practiced rescues. His body was his most important tool. He kept it sharp and ready. But the mental challenge was even greater. Constant vigilance, split-second decisions, the weight of lives in his hands. Zamana embraced it all. He knew the importance of his job. He never let his guard down, not even for a moment. The looming threat, Frenderson's dark agenda. As Zamana settled into his role, a shadow loomed. His name was Frenderson. He owned a rival resort nearby. Frenderson was jealous. He wanted Sunset Bay's success. He would do anything to get it. Frenderson started small. He spread rumors about unsafe conditions at Sunset Bay. He tried to lure away staff, but it wasn't enough. He wanted more. He wanted chaos. He wanted to prove that Sunset Bay couldn't keep its guests safe. Zamana heard whispers about Frenderson. He stayed alert. He knew something was coming, but he didn't know what or when. He could only prepare and wait. The tension built day by day. Guests felt it, staff felt it, but Zamana remained calm. He focused on his job, on saving lives, on being the hero Sunset Bay needed. The storm was coming, but Zamana would be ready. Clash of Titans, Zamana versus Frenderson. The confrontation came on a busy Saturday. Frenderson arrived at Sunset Bay. He brought trouble with him. He released dangerous fish into the swimming areas. He sabotaged safety equipment. He wanted to create panic. Zamana spotted the danger immediately. He cleared the beaches. He organized the staff. He faced Frenderson head-on. Two men, two visions for the future. One determined to destroy, one determined to protect. Words were exchanged, threats made, but Zamana stood firm. He wouldn't let Frenderson win. He wouldn't let the guests be put in danger. He was the wall between chaos and safety. In the end, Frenderson retreated, but the battle wasn't over. It was just beginning. Zamana knew he'd made an enemy, a dangerous one, but he also knew he'd do whatever it took to keep Sunset Bay safe, no matter the cost. Section 5. Waves of Destiny 9 Epic Rescues. The days that followed tested Zamana like never before. 9 massive waves hit Sunset Bay. Each one brought danger. Each one demanded heroism. Zamana rose to the challenge every time. The first wave caught a family off guard. Zamana plunged into the surf. He fought the current. He brought them back one by one, father, mother, 2 children, all safe thanks to his courage. Wave after wave crashed in. A surfer trapped in a riptide, an elderly swimmer having a heart attack, a child swept off a rocky outcropping. Zamana saved them all. His strength seemed superhuman, his bravery unmatched. By the 9th wave, Zamana was exhausted, but he didn't stop. He couldn't. Lives were at stake. He dove into the churning water one more time. He saved a young couple, but the toll on his body was immense. He had given everything, and there was still more to give. Section 6. The Ultimate Sacrifice, Zamana's Last Stand. The final challenge came without warning. A massive storm hit Sunset Bay. Waves like mountains crashed on the shore. The sky turned black. It was nature at its most furious. Zamana organized an evacuation. He got everyone to safety, almost everyone. A child was missing, last seen near the water. Zamana didn't hesitate. He plunged into the raging sea. The battle was epic, man against nature. Zamana fought with everything he had. He found the child. He pushed her towards the shore, but the sea wouldn't let go easily. It demanded a price. Zamana gave his life for that child. He used his last ounce of strength to push her to safety. Then he was gone, swallowed by the waves he had battled so bravely. Zamana was gone, but his legend was born. Section 7. A legacy continued. Zamellang steps up. In the wake of tragedy, a new hero emerged. Zamellang had been Zamana's assistant. Now he stepped forward. He would continue the mission. He would keep Sunset Bay safe. Zamellang had learned from the best. He had Zamana's skills, his dedication, his heart. But he was his own man. He would face his own challenges, create his own legend. The transition wasn't easy. Guests missed Zamana, staff mourned him. But Zamellang persevered. He proved himself day after day, rescue after rescue. He wasn't Zamana, but he was a hero in his own right. Zamellang honored Zamana's memory. He told stories of his bravery. He taught new lifeguards the lessons he had learned. Zamana lived on through Zamellang, through every life saved, every danger averted. The legend continued. Section 8. Ripples of Change, the resort's transformation. Zamana's sacrifice changed Sunset Bay forever. Safety became the top priority. New protocols were put in place. Better equipment was bought. More lifeguards were hired. The resort became a model of safety. Frenderson's schemes were exposed. His resort was shut down. He faced justice for his actions. Sunset Bay had won. Not just against Frenderson, but against the forces of greed and indifference that put lives at risk. Guests flocked to Sunset Bay. They came for the beauty, the fun, but most of all they came because they felt safe. They knew they were protected by Zamellang, by the legacy of Zamana, by a resort that put lives first. The change spread beyond Sunset Bay. Other resorts followed their example. Safety standards improved everywhere. Lives were saved that would have been lost. All because of one man's bravery, one man's sacrifice. Section 9. Lessons from the lifeguard stand, bravery and humility. Zamana's story became legend. It was told on beaches around the world, but it wasn't just a story of heroism. It was a lesson in bravery, in humility, in the power of putting others first. Bravery, Zamana showed, isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear. It's about doing what's right, no matter the cost. It's about facing challenges head-on, even when the odds seem impossible. Humility was just as important. Zamana never sought glory. He didn't want fame. He wanted to serve, to protect, to save lives. His humility made him approachable. It made people trust him. It made him effective. These lessons lived on in Zamellang, in every lifeguard at Sunset Bay, in everyone who heard Zamana's story. Bravery and humility, the marks of a true hero, the legacy of a legendary lifeguard. Section 10. The enduring impact, one person's power to save many. Zamana's story proves a powerful truth. One person can change the world. One person can save lives, can inspire others, can leave a legacy that lasts long after they're gone. Zamana saved hundreds directly, but his impact went far beyond that. He inspired Zamellang, he transformed Sunset Bay, he raised safety standards across the industry. Countless lives were saved because of his actions. But the most powerful impact was on individuals, the family he saved from the first big wave, the child he gave his life for, the countless others who swam safely because of his vigilance. Each life touch created ripples that spread out, changing the world in ways we can't even imagine. Zamana's story reminds us of our power, our responsibility. We may not be lifeguards, we may not save lives directly, but we all have the power to make a difference, to be brave, to be humble, to put others first, to be, in our own way, heroes. That is Zamana's true legacy, a call to heroism that lives in us all.